What I can tell you from inside the courtroom is that it's just a very, very emotional trial. There's a lot of pieces to this trial, a lot of pieces to this puzzle that are going to be explained throughout the next coming days. People can take a photo op right here on this pole to feel like they're a real lineman, and on top of that, they also have a walking robot around here. Well, he's rolling around, but you know the idea. And one thing that they are confirming is that they are referring to this incident as an attempted abduction case. Not something we see quite often here in South Georgia that we noted, so it's something to keep our eye on. Now I'm going to walk you through what happened here. So basically on the corner of, not only families are packing up their belongings, they're also establishing a temporary home, a little girl's playset, a father's grill, just trying to create some normalcy in this crazy, crazy time.
Now WALB News 10's Madison Foglio is live in Valdosta, where the president will land later this afternoon. And Madison, we know that there is widespread damage across that city.
Well, Carla, the president is set to land here with Air Force One at around 3:30 p.m. And right now, as you mentioned, he is in Tallahassee in Florida. But from here, as you also mentioned, he will be heading over to Ray City, where my sources are telling me with the Biden administration that he will be touring a farm. And then around 4:15, he will be giving a speech and remarks about the disaster recovery. Now, I want to show you something really quickly here. If we look behind me here, you can just see some of the damage all the way here in Valdosta still. I had to move my car all the way around and maneuver it just to get into Moody Air Force Base, so it was pretty significant. I was pretty astonished that this is still here. But just 142,000 customers are still without power in this county as we speak. And earlier today, the president made additional disaster assistance available to Georgia counties, where he authorized the federal cost share to be increased from 75% to 100% for the first 90 days of the incident period. Now, as I mentioned, and as you've seen throughout our reporting here, WALB has been covering extensively all of the counties. The damage is surreal. Both a former president coming earlier this week, now a president making a stop today. It just goes to show you that they hear us and they are here to help us. And of course, we'll have more from President Biden later today in our later shows. But for now, reporting in Valdosta, I'm Madison Foglio, sending it back to you.
Mackenzie, Jamie, we are actually in the motorcade right now, heading back to Moody Air Force Base, in where the president will depart from Air Force One. Now, we were just at Shiloh Pecan Farm, where the devastation and the damage to that farm was tremendous. I mean, we were just driving down in the motorcade going to watch the president speak, and what we saw was just heartbreaking. It was like a road of trees just to the side of the road, and it was just a complete product turned into disaster. It was very heartbreaking. But President Biden spoke about the unity of politics and how we need to put all that aside.
And following the press conference, I actually had a chance to ask President Joe Biden a question myself. I asked him, what about the rest of the South Georgia counties that are still looking for that disaster relief funding? And he told me that he, and I quote, he imagines every county in the state will get approved.
Mr. President, some South Georgia counties are still needing approval. Will that get approved? Come on, guys.
Yes?
All through the process. Thank you. Imagine every county in this state.
Every county. Thank you.
Former President Donald Trump and Senator J.D. Vance are set to take the stage in just a few hours. I want to give you this chance to talk to South Georgia independent voters. What's your message to them?
Yeah, I think it's that, unfortunately, the Democratic Party of JFK has been replaced by the open borders Democratic Party of Kamala Harris.
Shut down that border, go to war against the drug cartels, and prevent the flow of this poison coming into our communities.
So I do want to start off right off the bat with the University of Georgia nursing student who was found dead on campus. What's your message to college students, not only in Georgia, but across the nation, as they're concerned about safety as they head to class? Ready? Hit it! Ready. Jamie, we're seeing the same thing. The support has been absolutely tremendous. And let me just show you the support. You know, words are only one thing, but actions and physical evidence is another. District 2 is the poorest congressional district in the entire state of Georgia. After a 13-month-long Senate subcommittee investigation into Georgia's foster care system, U.S. Senator John Ossoff, who's also the chairman of the Senate Human Rights Subcommittee, and Senator John Cornyn of Texas are introducing the bipartisan Foster Care Placement Transparency Act. Now, according to Senator Ossoff, this new bill would require states to measure and report cases of hidden foster care placements to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Now, this is when children are separated from their parents and placed informally with a caregiver who may be a family member or an associate of the family. The senator notes that this is a widespread practice, but it typically happens without any oversight. Coming up in just a few weeks, Flint River Golf Course will be hosting its first ever member guest tournament for the community and its members. Now, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor for Miss Stevens Buddy Bear program, don't worry. Next year, be on the lookout for a Facebook post in July to have your opportunity. Now, from all of us here in Miss Stevens class, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas! The community actually stepped up themselves to help save Ellie the dog. A little over a week ago, we reported to you that the City of Enigma Animal Services had to shut its doors after one of the dogs tested positive for canine parvo.
The one thing I am glad about is nobody can hurt her anymore.
It's a nightmare that Jessica Cloud never could have imagined would happen to her family. On Sunday, August 18th, she said goodbye to her sister for the final time.
My mom and I walked downstairs. I leaned over and I told my sister I loved her. And if it was time for her to go, that I would take care of our mom. It was at 8:52. We walked right back upstairs at 9 o'clock, about 9:05, and she was gone.
According to Albany police, Melissa Law had been in critical condition since an off-duty officer found her barely alive in a South Jefferson Street field on August 10th. She was placed on life support and was breathing from a ventilator for 5 days. On Thursday, August 15th, her family made the decision to take her off of life support. Phoebe conducted an honor walk for her as the family was planning on donating her organs. However, she survived longer than was anticipated and missed the window for organ donation. Her family now turns its focus on her funeral and justice.
The person we have in jail, Mr. Johnny Jones, he was previously already in jail on the charges of aggravated assault, aggravated battery, rape, and aggravated stalking. Charges will be upgraded to murder once those warrants are signed by the judge.
Now, Cloud says she just wants to give her sister a proper farewell.
We set that GoFundMe up, but me and my mom are homeless. We don't have anywhere to go when we leave this hospital, and we need help.
If you would like to help Melissa Law's family pay for her services and burial, you can find the link on my story at WALB.com. Madison Foglio, WALB, your hometown news source. So tell me how you're really feeling. Come on, Snowball. Yes. Are you excited to look pretty? She says she's already pretty. But we know you're gorgeous, but you're about to look prettier.